Hey, what's up guys? This is LIXIN'S. I'm come back. Last week we talked about how to set your brush and how to use text brush. I did a few quick demo about how to use text brush to a practice. So in this video, actually, I will do a demo and show you how to combine different kind of text brush to do a practice. Okay, let's get started. Okay, first of all, I would like to show you guys some of my old practice. Those kind of practice. It was about some texture practice, and also it's a brush test. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those practice actually I did around maybe 7 or 8 years ago. The purpose was like I wanted to, through this practice, to know how to use different brush, also to know different texture. I mean, sometimes when you face to some different reference, you need to know how to use your brush to make it. And when I finish such kind of practice, I feel I learned a lot. I mean, I know the brush well, I know the texture well. Okay. Today, my demo will be to show you guys to how to do a practice use this reference. I won't focus on the proportion or the color too much. The most of my focus it was like how to use different texture brush to make a different area. I mean, show you the realistic and show you how to use the texture brush. Okay, let's get started. Okay, before we start, actually, I would like to say we should analyze this reference first. A lot of artists, they don't have this hobby. They took the reference, they just start to practice. I think before you start your practice, you should analyze your reference to think about your approach in your mind, especially maybe the process. If you can run the process in your mind, then won't have problem, I think. So for this reference, let's take a look at the texture and try to know what kind of brush we will use. So let's take a look. For this reference, let's separate a different area. I would like to say this area, it was one area. This ground will be the 2 area, and this animal will be the 3 area. So we can see these 3 different areas have different kind of texture. I first separated these 3 different areas. Then we will see the most difficult area with this animal, right? This animal have so many different texture. Let's take a look. I would like to say his body, this part actually have so many different area, have so many different texture. This area and this area, right? So if we use a simple graphical image to describe this area, what kind of brush we will use, we can try to think about like this way. For this area, we can think about his texture, more like such kind of texture. You see, right? Interesting texture. I mean, in this area, you can see the texture. In this area, you will see his texture will be like this. He follow the form, follow the shape. A little bit such kind of texture. Very interesting, right? So right now we can see the different. And another area will be this area. This area is most simple area. Normally it's like just a simple area with a lot of circle, And this circle follow the perspective, right? So 1, 2, 3 different area and texture for this animal. Also for the background, we can see this area 1, its texture will be a little bit like a like a bump texture. Bump texture, right? We can see a lot of concave and convex shape. But for this area, for the ground, actually he is like the surface is smooth. The texture was not like very strong. It was hiding the surface. So this area with this area is different. So 1, 2 different. I mean 1, 2 different. 1, 2, 3 different. So this is before I start our practice, what I will do in my mind. So normally this kind of thinking run in my mind very quickly. Normally I would just think about how to use my brush. I mean, especially I know my texture brush very well, so I already know before I start which brush I will use, what kind of brush I will use. So this is what I suggest to you to do practice before you do a practice, to think about the process, or think about the different texture, or think about a different area, what kind of brush you will use. Then after that you can start your practice. I hope this kind of analysis can help you to building your process. And if you have any question, just leave a comment, let me know what you thought. Okay, right now let's start it. Okay, so I will build a new. So this is my reference. Like I said, I won't focus in the perspective or color too much, because this is not what we want to do today. Today, the most important things is about how to use the texture brush. Of course, I will try my best to get the proportion and get the color right. Okay. First of all, I would like to say I will need to fill in the background. You can use different kind of brush to fill the background. Just make sure the background is not like a white color. I mean, when you test your brush, if even the brush is wrong, it's okay. You can cover the color, cover the area. Normally, you can try use different brush to separate the area. I would like to say like this. Let me try to make the background as perfect as possible. I will try to use different brush and to show you. As I said, you should be familiar with your brushes. If you don't know about which brush you will use, that will be a problem. Because right now you see I use this brush, I know how to use it. Because normally you will use the brush like this. Nobody will use like this way, you see. Because when I doing this approach, you see the texture very strong, right? Sometimes you don't have to like a pen, you just push your pen, you see, the texture will fill in your background. Okay. For this practice, right now I'm still testing my brush. I will try to find some brush as as suitable as I can. This brush is nice, it's interesting. You can see so many different small texture run on the background. Interesting, right? Right now we can see the texture on the ground actually pretty similar with compared with the reference. Sometimes we just needed to try different kind of brush to test your brush, which one is the best texture brush for this area. Sometimes some accident happen, and like surprise, you will like it. Sometimes it's not good. It's like it is normal. Don't worry about it. I like this brush. You see, this brush actually make the background very interesting. And kind of gave this texture. Okay, I don't want to like finish the whole background perfect 100%, then start to finish the animal. This is not right. Right now I will try to start to do the animal. Let's do some really quick way. Like I said, I didn't focus too much on the proportion. I just wanna, as quick as possible that to show you how to use the texture brush and what I'm thinking in my mind. Okay, this will be like the shape of this animal. You don't have to make it like a 100% correct. You always can change it, because right now I separated the layer from the background and foreground. Okay, so first of all, I will need to, get the color as right as possible. Because if the color is not right, texture won't help. We want to make sure the color is correct. Then the texture will help. And if you curious about how I choose the color, actually I did a previous video that you can find on my YouTube channel to see how I choose the right color by experience, and not like use another tool. You can always test a different brush. I know I really like this way, and I really enjoy a different test a different brush. Sometimes it's really interesting. Okay, you see right now actually the color pretty similar with this reference. Let me separate some color area. In some area you can see some kind of like a little bit of white. And in this area also have some cold, warm color that you will need to focus. Right now actually I use several different brush, like a soft round brush and hard round brush. It's not only just about the texture brush, because you can't like use text brush make everything happens in one minute, right? You still need to like real like painting it. Right. So right now actually we had a very good color on this animal. So right now I'm gonna show you that area, 1, 2, 3 different area, what kind of brush I will use that I mentioned before. So like I said, you will see such kind of texture on this animal, right? 1, 2, 3 different type of texture. So I'm gonna use a different brush. Let's focus on this area first, middle area. I will It's my experience. I will use maybe this brush or this brush or this brush. Maybe this brush. Yeah, this brush maybe. Maybe this brush. I mean, sometimes I combine different brush to make my artwork. Okay, let's try. This brush first. Oh, this brush actually too. Maybe not good. Okay, it's not bad actually. It's okay. I will choose maybe another brush. It's very interesting, you don't worry about the result right now because it's just a practice. How much you can learn in your practice, this is very important. I remember brush is very good for this kind of texture. Okay, it's one interesting, right? We need to change a little bit. This one maybe. Okay, this one. I'm gonna use this one. This one is good. Okay, this area actually almost done, but you didn't see very clear because the color behind this texture is too dark. So I will need to light the color. A little bit of light this color. You see, right now I light the color in the background, so the texture you will see clear. And because I separated the layer, so some area, if you don't need it, you can just clean it. So let's deal with this part, this area. This area, like I said, we have some interesting texture. I will maybe use. Let me take a look. Which one? Maybe this one? No, not good. I don't like it. Maybe this one. Yeah, this one maybe is good. You see, slightly. Use your brush slightly. You see the texture? Follow the shape. Follow the form. This is very important actually. Right now it's okay. So right now you can see these different areas texture, right? So for this area, actually is very simple. You can just use a soft round brush. You can finish it. So right now let me try to use a soft brush to show you. Yeah, this one is fine. You see, but also you will need to focus the color. The color should be correct. And I use the soft brush. we can see some shadow, but right now you don't have to worry about the shadow. We can separate the approach. We can edit the shadow in the last moment. Some cold color, I mean, cold light from the background, you know. Okay, this. Let me try some different brush. Maybe this brush. Now it's interesting. See, this brush actually is interesting. See, I can make it a transition from this smooth area to the texture area, right? Because this actually, you know, this brush is very interesting. It's not like especially for this kind of animal. I mean, normally people will use this for the tree, right? For the tree. You see, I got some interesting feeling about edit this texture like this, like the reference. This happens like an accident. Very interesting. Okay, let's keep it going, keep it moving. For me, sometimes it's really hard because I need, you know, translate my mind from English, from Chinese to English. Okay, this brush not good. Alright. Okay, right now I will try to building the shadow. Shadow, actually the color is very interesting. You can see right now I make it a shadow. Right? Interesting, right? Also the color will be cold a little. You can edit some blue or pink, you know. It really depends you. Okay, let's put some highlight and some detail on this octopi. First of all, I will think about this area. His eyes. And I don't want to get too much detail right now because I'm not like doing a demo for show you how to complete practice. To finish a practice, it's just show you how to use different kind of text brush to doing this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. code color. 1, 2, 3. And also you need to think about the perspective better, you know. Follow the form. I did this very rough right now, so hope you don't mind. But you will see this, when you use this way, it's really help you to building the knowledge about how to make some realistic style artwork. It's very interesting actually. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Highlight. I will put some highlight. Yes, highlight. A warm highlight, right? Warm highlight. Yes. Cold warm together. Because this is what I can see in the reference. The color always like cold, warm. Cold color. White. Warm color. High saturation, you know, you can add some high saturation in some area. Okay, I don't want to get too much detail, so this is basically, you know, what I can do for show you how to use the texture brush. It's interesting and it's really helpful. All right. Okay. So this is my, you know, basic like a simple approach for do practice. We use different kind of brush, so texture brush. And you know, most of my artwork I will spend around maybe 2 or 3 hours for such kind of practice. This one maybe I took around maybe half hour. So, but you will see half hour you can building like all the basic texture and building the basic color. If you want to continue this artwork, you just make sure you when you focus on the some area, I mean some detail, you'll be careful to pick what kind of brush you will use and know the color transition, especially the temperature. Also, I mean, think about the octopus with the background, you know, relationship about these two different things. Think about the environment, think about the color, think about the light. I think this is very important. You know, most of I know a lot of artists, they have a class about a texture class. You know, it's like you do a practice, use a lot of ball. I think that kind of practice it's not like very useful. I'm not saying like very useful because that kind of practice actually they separate the environment. But you know, when you do an illustration or keyframe art, you do your artwork, when you do a texture, actually the texture, most important thing is about what kind of environment, what kind of light source they have. Those kind of things make the texture different. It's not just about you drawing a ball, you know, you will put some different kind of texture like metal, water, glass. I think that is not like a very good practice. Okay, so this video will be like this. Just, you know, if you have any question, you just write to me. I will try my best to answer you. Okay, thank you.